Hi, I'm Dionne with Creative's Pathway here in Nashville, Tennessee. And I am doing just a lot of different interesting things in this position, working with everyone from publishers to songwriters to developing artists to established writers. Uh, I can't even, I'm going to have to start listing these on the website because it's just been really interesting, the journey. What I want to talk about today is specifically Nashville and the music industry, and just because we're undergoing a lot of changes. So that means songwriters and musicians, bands, artists in our market are having to adapt to these changes. And then there's a whole other generation that are just entering into the music scene now, and so they're walking in at a time where a lot of the things in the textbooks may have changed quite a bit and are not as useful as they try to navigate how to either get kicked off here, get known, get hooked up, get songs plugged, whatever it is. So some of the things I want to say is that, whenever those kind of opportunities present, there also presents the opposite side to things. So there's always going to be someone that is ready to take advantage of, someone who's got the dream in the hand and they're ready to go. So what does that mean? It doesn't mean you have to be, over paranoid and all that, but it does mean that you have to use common sense and you have to do a little bit of checking up on things, and you need to at least have an understanding of what it is that you're hoping to accomplish. So for example, and with me being a song plugger, I can tell you that over the years, many people have come to me with their songs, wanting them pitched. And, a good song plugger is not just going to pitch any song. And it's, they may get excited about one or two of your songs, like to that super excited, like, oh my God, this is awesome. But you know what? It doesn't happen a lot like that. So if someone is just loving everything that you've brought to them, or they're jumping up and down as if 4 or 5 songs are the best thing that they've ever heard. Now, I'm not saying that it's not possible, but I am telling you that it's highly unlikely. So that should be just a flag, just enough to make you stop and take a step back and at least speak to a couple other people. Always good to check out with your, the PROs if you're with ASCAP or BMI or SESAC. You want to get some professionals' feedback on where they think your songs are. And yes, I know everybody has opinions and all that kind of stuff, and I hear all kinds of interesting comments about that. But before you start taking your money out of your pocket, at least find out what some of those other people do think, and then kind of at least put a bit of a picture together. Because the thing that happens is that if you end up, first there's the obvious. If you're paying someone to pitch your songs and your songs they're not as great as what they, would need to be to be pitched in that way, then you are spending money for that, and it's probably not getting pitched. And since you think that that's already great the way you're writing, if there was something in you that was a really creative spark, then there's really not a lot of incentive for you to further your writing, your training in writing, and to get stronger so that you are writing more competitive songs. And I've seen writers that have kind of got caught in that, where somebody is telling them their songs are great when they're not there yet. And so as other writers kept getting better and moving, further along, some of these other writers kind of stayed stuck. because they wanted to believe that their songs were as good as they thought they were, and they were paying for them to be that good. And so, and it gets to be one of those just really uncomfortable things for everyone, because no one is really going to say somebody's name and say, oh, so-and-so is, because it's a small town, and sometimes we get into weird situations because someone may have been very legit at one time. They may have provided a great service, and they may have been totally on board, up front, and between that time and now and the changing frontier out there, things are kind of shifting a bit. So I don't know what to say other than to really do your homework. There's a lot of different services being offered, and so there's a lot of great people that can tell you kind of where you are as a writer, and that have, and it's always good if they have nothing to gain from you. So if it's a song plugger telling you, and I'm even saying, if that was me listening to your songs, really and truly, you've got to stop for a minute and think, okay, so that song plugger, if they tell me these songs are awesome, then I'm going to pay them. They're going to benefit financially by loving my songs. That doesn't mean I'm going to love your songs for money, otherwise I'd already be a very wealthy woman. But what it does mean is that I have got something to gain by saying I like your songs. So that means, well, that could be still okay, but go to your PRO. Talk to, if you have some pro songwriter mentors, get some feedback from them. And there's now a lot of those that are out providing service on the internet for, doing song feedback. And so there's, it's not going to be that hard to get at least some information on where your songs really are. And ultimately, it's going to save you money. Or you're going to get that validation, and they're going to say, yeah, these are great. Of course, I think that you should do it. And then at least you have that validation that, hey, I am on the right track. I'm having, these professionals are telling me, so I'm going to, take the next step forward. So it's complicated, but it doesn't have to be if you use good common sense, if you utilize the pros that are in place, that are well established and that you can trust, ASCAP, BMI, SESAC, your PROs, some of the songwriting organizations, some of the pro writers that are now offering different services. You can find out where you're at with things. And so, it's better to do it now and find out so that you can continue growing, or that you don't go wasting your money for the next year paying for something that that's not being done. And I try to stay away from the negativity of those kind of things, but I can see, as right now, as many wonderful opportunities as there is here, because of us being like the Wild West in the South at the moment with, indies and just all kinds of interesting opportunities. It's just the other stuff always surfaces as well. So I just want you to stay smart, stay safe, save your money, get better as songwriters, and, just to become the best you can be. I mean, what else can you ask for? So anyway, I have enjoyed sharing this with you, and if you are interested in learning more about what I do in guiding you as either songwriter or performer in just a variety of ways, you can contact me at Penny Dionne at Creatives Pathway, and that's creatives with an S, pathway.com. And I'm also on Facebook, and just give me a shout, and I would be happy to send you more information on everything. All right, I hope you're doing great, and have an awesome week.